Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to this one-on-one talk. Thank you, ATO, for having me, and thank you, sponsors, for supporting this event. My name is Kristina Krasnolobova, and today I'm going to talk about security tools that will help you determine if something is malicious or benign. Before we jump into the topic, I want to introduce myself. By this time in presentation, you probably noticed my accent. I am from Russia. I've been in the States for about 10 years. I work as a cybersecurity analyst for Sentara healthcare. I love tech. I love volunteering. I'm very passionate about volunteering. I love outdoors. About a little over 2 months ago, I became a mom for the first time of a wonderful boy who peed on my laptop last night, so I had to run to a Target to buy a laptop to present today. Today on our agenda to talk about where you can find something malicious, where you can find malware to play around with, and a few of the tools that could help you determine if something malicious or not. All right, where would you find something malicious? So you probably think, well, dark web is obvious, but it's also a bad place to find some troubles. My recommendation for you to Google some GitHub repositories such as the Zoo or Inquest malware samples, or a few of the tools we're going to talk about today. They'll have a submission page. Most of the time you can download the sample from those tools, or if you're creative and have time, you can create your own. Unfortunately, most of the time we find something malicious unintentionally. According to some statistics, phishing accounts for about 90% of the data breaches, and it is most common way of attack and to perform attack by cyber criminals. And it's got worse since we went to the COVID. Attackers take advantages of pandemics. They send out emails offering the vaccinations and PPEs and trying to pretend to be the legitimate resources like CDC. According to Webroot, phishing spiked for about 510%. Just for the months of January and February 2020 alone. To keep you safe, what can you do? What kind of tools can you use to determine if something that came to your email or someone shared file with you, what kind of tools you can use to analyze the file or URLs? Those are the examples that we're going to go through today. All right. Now, let's pretend you're using Cox as an internet provider. Oh, I don't think you can see my slide. Hold on. Exit from. Yes. All right, that's better. Let's pretend you're using Cox as your internet provider, and you usually get your monthly statements via email. And this is an example that looks pretty realistic, but if you take a look, there is typos and your account number wouldn't be the same. And if you hover over buttons, the URLs go somewhere, but not the Cox site. So what can you do before clicking, jumping into the clicking the links or downloading the files? Let's take a look at the URLs behind and where those sites lead to. So we're gonna safely copy the link, and first tool on our agenda is Virustotal. This tool allow you to analyze files, URLs, so you can search by IP addresses, hashes, domains. So let's plug this URL into the Virustotal and see what it shows. All right, boom, that's malicious. If you wouldn't check, you would probably get phished and something bad would happen to you. This site provides a lot of details besides what you can see the final statement that it is malicious. There's the details, relations. Sometimes you can find community feedback. Another tool that you can use to analyze the URL is a URL scan.io. It's pretty much speaks to itself. It scans the URL. And what I like about this tool, you can change the options to scan something privately or share with community. You can play around with user agents. So we're going to do the same thing with this link. We're going to scan it publicly. All right, let me confirm that I'm not a robot. I think I'm not missing anything. All right, it might take a minute. All right, while it's loading, we'll actually it's done. And you can see the latest previous submissions in here, show scans. This link was actually mentioned as malicious a few hours ago. So if we go to, it was mentioned as malicious, and I guess it was reevaluated and established that it's not malicious. But if it scans and it finds it's malicious, you can clearly see that will give you a red bold letters that is malicious. Don't go in there. Also, what is cool about this tool, it gives you a screenshot. You don't have to browse to the site to see what's in there. Sometimes just by looking at the screenshot, you can tell it is bad. I shouldn't go in there. If a malicious actor using the URL shortener such as bit.ly, this site will reveal effective URL for you. So this is also handy. Next tool is Talos Intelligence. If you already scanned this URL, you can see here clearly reputation, it is not safe. Besides the reputation, I'll tell you information such as geolocation, the owner details, and a lot more. So if you go there, play around, you'll find a lot of information in there. Next tool, second to last, is any.run. This is a great tool because it lets you analyze the file or URL in the VM. It spins up the VM for you. You don't have to install anything on your device. You can access that via browser, and it will analyze and spit out the report with many details. You also can come back to your previous submissions and review. This is how it looks. You can scroll back and forth to see that I looked at that URL before. It gives you IOCs, all sorts of data, HTTP requests, connection, DNS requests, threads, all this good stuff. And a second to last was any.run, and our last tool that we're looking at today is integer analyzer. With free community edition, you can scan files or hashes, and it will tell you if it's something better or not. I actually downloaded one of the malwares, and we can pop it in there, see what it shows us. Oh, let me try a different one. Let's see if this one works. Oh, I guess it doesn't take the archives with many multiple files. Let's see. What if I try this one? All right, it's analyzing right now. And the same, while it's analyzing, we can go back to Virustotal. The files can be uploaded to Virustotal as well. We can try upload zip file in here. I'm pretty sure this is Trojan. Yep. So it will tell you, will analyze the file and give you a hash. This hash value you can use in the different tools, or if you need hash value for anything else, you can use it here. Let's go back. All right, it did tell you that it is malware, but it's still analyzing, but it does show you a bit of a detail in here. This is the tools that we'll look at today, and those are some additional tools. I encourage you to take a look and see if you like. Maybe you'll find something that fits you better or provides you details that you need. There's two great articles by Sentara.com and Cyberbit, published also about open source malware tools and sandboxes. My second to last slide is tips. I want to leave you with a few of the tips. Take all information that sandbox or tool that gives you with a grain of salt. Some of the tools can identify google.com as malicious. Obviously, it is not. Don't upload files that may contain personal or business information. Most tools will share whatever you upload in there, URLs or files, it will share with the public. Some of them, like we saw URL scan, allows you to scan it privately, but most don't if you have community free edition. Don't be a clicker, don't open attachments without being sure it's safe. We have Russian proverb, measure 7 times, cut once. Take the same approach to the files and links, check them several times before uploading, opening the file or clicking the links, and stay cyber safe. And thank you for listening to my presentation. If you would like to connect, collaborate, talk about security or any other talk, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter.